I know I just made a massive Angela showcase recently, but right after I uploaded that, we did a war plan for our final off-season war just to get ready for the season, and I ended up having a 6, or what should have been 7 fight Angela war, but it ended up being 6 because I got my 7th Angela fight stolen because I was holding someone up, which is fine, but 6 fights is still crazy. And it was really interesting. I'm really excited to show off this off-season war. And the best part about it was, obviously, since it was off-season, we weren't boosting, we weren't healing or anything. And I managed to do all 6 of my fights without having the need to use a potion or feel like I should have been boosted or anything. Because Angela is just that strong. She's just so good. And especially with the fact we have Odin on our team. And Odin just makes her that much better, which obviously you think of the Odin synergy more for like incursion style content, just because of how many fights you need for it to like really get its max benefit and such, but also it's really good for this war setting too, not only because you get those pre-fights which are just going to be helpful for a lot of different scenarios, especially that aptitude, but also every single fight that you win, you get that 5% buff potency, and you still feel that, even with it only being 5 fights before the final one and such. So we're taking Angela on Path 9, Section 1 to start here, and that Prowler is already gone before I could really talk much about the fight. But next up, we're fighting this Iron Man Infinity War here on Node 18. And I talk all the time how crazy Angela's utility kit is, just for a Cosmic of her age, and just the fact that you can be immune to like all these hazard shift debuffs because of the amount of buffs you have on yourself. You can parry non-contact, you can reduce auto-block ability accuracy, which doesn't really matter for the auto-block in the war tactic because it is unaffected by ability accuracy, but for Iron Man's personal auto-block or something, when he gets down to low health, that would obviously apply there. And also, her Nullify ability accuracy reduction is another thing, which I take, not in this war, but I've taken like power snack fights with Angela before, because eventually you're just going to get enough buffs to where Nullify doesn't matter, and then you're kind of chilling. So anyway, this Iron Man Infinity War, not going down like extremely fast or anything, but it's also because I have to just manage the Feat of Indestructible node a bit, so definitely making this fight a little bit harder to do fast, but it's not a big deal. She's just handling this fight without any worry of the hazard shift debuffs. And she legitimately is like the best Cosmic for Hazard Shift, which is why she's going to be catching so many bans next season. So don't expect too much Angela content for me in the war season. I'll definitely give what I can, but I just don't expect her to be unbanned much, and when she will be unbanned a lot, there probably won't be a lot of text on Hazard Shift for her to take. So moving on to Section 2, we're starting on Path 6 against this Storm Pyramid X, and Angela isn't very good for this fight, but I didn't have a team slot to get a Pyramid X counter, so we just kind of were just like, okay, dex the SP1s and win. That's kind of all I need to worry about in here. Storm isn't much of a defender, and the only way she's going to kill you on this node is if you just mess up the SP1 dex, and I trust myself enough to not mess up on the SP1 dex, so it ended up not being big an issue. And so anyway, I couldn't fit a team slot for a Pyramid X counter just because I wanted Odin, and I also needed Gore for the war boss, which I probably uploaded the day before you're going to be seeing this. So yeah, anyway, this Pyramid X is just going down very slowly but surely, and now that we have our precision up, it's, you know, she's going down a bit faster, even though the glance is still there. When she doesn't glance, we are likely to crit, which is very nice, and we started doing like 17k mediums there when we do get the crit. So anyway, again, it's just kind of like dex the specials, and then this fight isn't really a hard time, and if you don't dex the specials, you're gonna die, so we're just gonna make sure that we dex them, and it was like a 2-minute fight. So alright, next up we're gonna fight this Guardian. And honestly, I think Guardian might even be better on the node that Pyramid X was on than the node here, because Guardian, his whole thing is like, you get caught by a special attack, you're gonna get hurt a lot. And that's kind of the case on this Guardian too, just a little bit less so, because the prowess isn't as hard to manage here. And again, we're entering this fight with 84% health, which is fine. Like, I would be healing if this was actual war, but I'm not worried about my health because of how fast Angela kills fights. And also, we have her regen, which is really cool. to heal back some of the damage we take. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, this Guardian is going to go down relatively fast. We just need to get a little bit ramped up first. Now we have 2 Ticking Furies, and then I'm going to have a Permanent Fury right there. So he does have crit resist and such from the node, which is a little annoying, but it's all good. 29k medium, you saw that, and then, yeah, there's another 29k medium. This Guardian is just about dead. We're going to drop the SP2, and we don't get a crit, get a crit at the end, 34k, and that Guardian just got wiped out. So next up, we're going to be fighting Shuri on node 37, and in this fight, it's another example of Angela's utility kit just being extremely good, especially the parry non-contact part, because we're going to be able to use that to just kind of parry heavy and keep the regen under control by keeping her away from me. That's kind of all you need to do to, like, simplify this fight, is just keep her away from you with parry heavies a lot. And it helps that I know the SP1 decks quite a bit, so I don't need to worry too much about that portion of the fight. And at this point, we have clarity built up, so now we just start wailing on her and stuff like that. So I need her to throw her SP1, and she does. I go for the Dex right there, I get it, so we're chilling. And here I'm just like, I need a crit for a Ticking Fury, and I'm just not getting one. I'm like, please let me crit. And then I still don't get one. And then I drop the SP2, which I wanted to be an SP1. So now I'm like, well, I'm not set up very properly, so that's annoying. So we're just gonna try to get to 1 bar of power again. And then hopefully get a Ticking Fury, and hopefully not drop an SP2 when I meant to drop an SP1. So anyway, we keep just doing parry heavies, keeping her away from me a bit until I can start getting some more damage and such. So you can see that regen on me is very helpful, because that, obviously, the buff potency of that regen gets increased just like my Furies and stuff do from the Odin synergy, so that's really cool. And I think I'm going to go for an SP1 here, place some armor breaks, which will help with Despair for any regen she gets, which the armor breaks don't last too long, but they are going to be useful sometimes when I need to, like, do a bunch of damage with a special attack. Then the regen that is going to be active during that special attack won't really matter. Like right here when I'm dropping the SP2 to try to kill her. Don't get any crits, but I can still kill her anyway. So there we go. One more fight for this video, and it's going to be against this Shocker on node 45. I do have a White Mags pre-fight here just because it's Conflictor. This is like the #1 node on the map that we try to have a Wags for, other than maybe like 48 or something like that. But anyway, we're going into this fight. I think I'm just going to do some parry heavies once again. And the Wags is also going to help a lot versus Shocker, because while he does reduce stun duration, at least Limber won't be a factor, because that's only stun debuffs. So anyway, we just keep doing parry heavies, and here Shocker says SP1, I dex it, and then I go for the counter. And here I have my Furies going, so he throws a special there, and then I get parried, and I'm like, oh crap, oh, please don't kill me. But it's fine, we're gonna be just fine. This Shocker is just gonna go down extremely fast at this point. He's gonna throw his SP2 here. It's definitely hurts, but we have a lot of armor, so there's that helping out a bit. Then I'm just gonna make a bunch of crits on my basics, and this Shocker is just about dead. Like, I think one more combo does it, just like that. So there we go. That is Angela asserting her dominance on the war map. Once again, I put so many war fights in that original video, and just this was 6 more that I felt I needed to show you guys. And let's just hope she doesn't catch too many bans this season, because I would love to be pumping out more Angela in war content. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.